Welcome to the Bucket Boys podcast.
What's going on, gang?
And welcome to the Bucket Boys podcast. I'm your host, Gunnar Cain. This is my boy, Zak Rector.
Hey, gang.
Did we decide that's what we're doing?
Yeah, but every single time it feels like a game time decision. I'm like, I don't want to get yelled at again.
This is a show where you submit topics. We put them in a bucket. We pull them out, talk about them at random. It's a great show. It's a fun show. I had to put that out there because I think some people look at it and they're like, "Is that a fun show?" And I'm like, "No, it's pretty good.
Well, you know what's funny?
It's pretty fun."
Somebody the other day was like, "You guys really like to let us know it was a hot ep, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, if we don't tell you it was a hot ep,
Yeah,
you're gonna be like, was that good? I don't know.
Yeah, was that hot or not?"
We know that you're looking to us for direction
answers
on what's happening on the show.
That's right. If you want to submit topics, email them to thebucketboyspod@gmail.com. You can also find clips and whatnot at the Bucket Boys Pod on TikTok, the Bucket Boys Podcast on Instagram, and full video available on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all the stuff. And you can find us, you're probably listening to us right now, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that jazz. Holy smokes.
holy smokes.
Holy smokes, Zach. What's going on, dude?
It's been a rough couple days, and I think we can both agree that it's way too sunny in here.
Dude, it's it's everything to do with the light and not from our life decisions.
Every light in this room is
On,
but also adjustable. We have the ability to dim the lights in the room, but instead, we don't want your viewing experience to be any less than perfect.
Just cut to black. Dude, what do you? I can't tell. Last time we wore sunglasses, it was the Attitude episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is my first time. I think. I don't think I've worn sunglasses before. I don't know how to act or behave
with sunglasses on.
Yeah, it is funny that I checked in with you yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, we're recording tomorrow, right?" And you're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool." I might be a little groggy, which wasn't necessarily like, "Hey, can we start a little later?" But it was more like, just a heads up, I may seem a little out of it.
I'm going to have less energy than you.
Yeah. And then we both showed up slightly hungover today.
And I have far less energy than you.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yeah, dude.
Let's talk about it.
I got into it. And I feel bad. Let's just say my car is not at my house right now.
Well, at least responsible decisions were made.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, dude, but I had to get a ride.
You think you got a little Cosby pill dropped in your brain?
No. No, that'd be cool. Actually,
at least I'd have a story to tell.
Yeah, man. I mean, it would be nice. I wish somebody thought of me that way. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I'm not trying to listen, I'm not trying to be like, that's okay to do.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is nobody's ever felt so strongly about me that they wanted it that bad. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but I think there could have been ulterior motives.
It was fine.
I think somebody across the bar could have been like, "Man, I wish that guy would shut the hell up." And then his buddy next to him's like, I got just the thing.
He's going to have to go home now.
Do you want him to shut up, or do you want him to be asked to leave?
Oh, man. But no, it was a great time. I came out on the wrong end of it.
Well, at least you got a ride home. You didn't have to sleep at the bar or make an even worse decision.
Yeah, both I would have done. But
well, here at the Bucket Boys,
we promote
nothing but safe and responsible decisions.
That's right. You son of a bitch! Did you put chairs in my way?
You know what's funny? I put those chairs there, and I was like, I wonder if these are in Gunnar's way. And then I came over and I sat in your chair, and I was like, nah, he's got plenty of space. But now that I look at it, even from over here, I'm like, it might be tough. So that's the thing. We both have obstacles.
We both have obstacles in
life.
Yes,
on this show.
That's what we're trying to say here.
Yeah,
is that everybody faces. Listen to me.
If you take nothing away from this show,
yeah, life's full of obstacles. Drink responsibly.
I think that was Chris Christopherson that said that originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, was he a swimmer? Is that what he was?
No, he's a country music singer.
Oh my God. I'm so stupid.
It's okay. We're all used to it. We're all family here.
So what I like this topic. Let's talk about what were we talking about?
More times that we've been responsible?
No.
After getting shithouse drunk?
No, what did we just say? Obstacles. What obstacles have
life.
you got come across the past few days?
Yeah,
you want to put me on the spot.
Waking up this morning, that
Shut
one was
the
pretty
fuck
tough. No, so like the last 2 days, the company I work for, we have a site shutdown every year, and it falls on Memorial Day weekend every year.
Sure.
And the point of it is just, there's a lot of stuff that comes up throughout the year that you need to repair, replace, but you can't do it while equipment's online, while the power's on. Mm-hmm. So we take the opportunity over the course of a holiday weekend to shut all utilities down, shut the power down, drain systems if need be, get all this work done. Try to pack it into like 4 or 5 days, get as much done as you can. And when we do that, it's like an all hands on deck thing. And everybody pretty much ramps up and prepares to work 12-hour shifts for 4 or 5 days in a row. And for the last 6 years, I was an operator in the plant. And this past year, I got promoted to a salary position. So technically, I didn't have to go. And like I asked my manager, hey, do you need me for it? He's like, no, you don't have to do it anymore. And I was like, yeah, but I know the guys could use a hand. I'm familiar with how the processes go. So I volunteered to go in over the last 2 days. And 3.5 hours into day one, I was like, I should have just stayed home. But the guys appreciated it. And I don't mind doing it. It's just long hours that I'm not used to anymore. And I've adjusted so much to day shift life that after the first day I came home and I was like, I don't even know what to do.
Right.
I was exhausted the whole drive home. And then the moment I got home, I was wide awake again.
Dang.
And I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning. And then woke up and went back in yesterday and came home and I was up till like 2:30 last night. So when 9 came around this morning, I was like, I don't want to. But here we are.
Here we are.
That was a long-winded story, and I apologize. It went nowhere.
I was hoping you were going to talk about your car, but...
Oh, we can talk about that.
Cut the last 8 minutes.
We can definitely talk about my car.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about your car, that you got some remodeling done to it.
Remodeling is one way to put it. That's explaining it in cursive, if you would. So we were leaving your house. We came and picked your wife up to come to your Don't Tell show. And I jumped in the back seat and let your wife sit shotgun because I was like falling asleep anyway.
Dude, you are the king of fluffing up a story.
Do you want content or not?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to cause an issue just now so bad.
There hasn't been any turmoil in a while. I get it.
I just wanted it so bad.
So I jump in the back seat.
Sure, yeah. You let
gingerly. And so my wife's driving, and literally, I think we moved 3 feet the moment she put it in drive, and all of a sudden we just heard this thud on the outside of the car, and so she freaked out. She slammed on the brakes, put her hands up in the air, and just looked back at me. And I was like, if I don't get out and look at it, it can't be that bad right now, because I just didn't want to be in a bad mood going to a comedy show. So I went to the show, had a good time. You would think the next day it would be the first thing I would go look at. I had to drive up to Arlington to help a friend move a couch. So I get there, park, run upstairs. I park next to the U-Haul. We come down. We're walking out. And he's like, hey, man, I imagine it's probably a sore subject, so I hate to ask, but what happened to the car? At this point, I'd completely forgotten about what happened the night before. And I just looked at it and saw it. And I was just like, just stopped dead in my tracks. And he was like, you're fucking with me. I was like, I completely forgot that even happened, and I didn't realize how bad it was.
Oh, it's bad.
So apparently, I guess a stick just got wrapped up in the wheel, and somehow just whipped around and just smacked the fender right above the wheel well, and it's a dent it's that big. Freaking big, yeah.
And it was a solid ass stick too. I seen it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I meant to ask you to bring it here so we could burn it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost took. That was a pretty good shot.
Doesn't count towards my record, but
not gonna lie to you. First of all, it's solid wood. I'm not surprised it left that dent in there.
Really?
And it broke.
What are we talking girth wise? Are we in here or beer can, microphone?
Liquid death.
Wow.
Snapped it in half. Fresh stick.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've been trying to work through the physics of how that could have
oak tree. Ugh. Oak tree limb. I mean,
I've been trying to work through how that could have happened.
Also,
because she was idling. It's not like she was flying.
I have no idea how it happened because my wife was like, hey, you got to move those sticks.
That could have been our car.
Yeah. We don't want that to happen to somebody else. But she was like, you got to move those sticks. And I was like, what sticks? She goes, the ones that are in the driveway. And I was like, the one my daughter uses to jump the dog.
To jump the dog?
To jump the dog.
Oh, like horse jumping.
Yeah, so she sets up little jumps.
So I messed up her jump?
And she makes... No, there's plenty of sticks. See how many trees I got? I got sticks.
All right.
And I was like, I moved those sticks. And she goes, no, Sonia ran over them. That's what happened in the car. And I was like, no shit. And she goes, yeah, you got to move those sticks off the driveway. And I was like, I can't wait to get on that podcast and publicly say that those sticks were 4 feet into the yard.
Really?
Yeah.
Bring her in here.
Taking wide turns.
Could you see tire marks right next to it? Oh, man.
Oh,
well, you know what's funny is
but I moved the sticks already, and she's like, "We gotta get rid of them." And I was like, "No,
no, tell our friends to stop driving through our yard." So
I have no idea how that happened either. I really don't.
Like I said,
I don't know where it would have gotten caught up. They're all flat, and what's weird too is I had them laying side by side.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one. Kicked one up.
Oh, it's possible.
The space between my spokes is pretty big. The spokes of my wheels.
Yeah.
So I could see how
it could have popped up, got caught in the well,
and then stuck under the tire somehow.
Yeah. But it's damn.
It was loud. And like I knew it was going to be bad the moment it happened, and I was just like, I don't want to look at it right now. So the next day when I did see it, I sent a picture of it to my wife, and I was like, it's worse than we thought. And she was super apologetic, and I was like, dude, it's not your fault. I didn't realize she was driving through your backyard, but
it's like it's just like I don't know why they asked me to open the gate. They were back there.
Can you open so we can get out of here, please, like normal?
Did you get
it? Things happen. Nobody got hurt. Nothing got broken.
4 feet's a little bit of an exaggeration, but they were in the yard.
Yeah.
They were not on the driveway, is all I'm saying.
Stuff happens, man. It is what it is.
But it is really easy to drive into that part because it's flush.
Yeah. So there's no way of knowing that
You wouldn't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was dark out. Stuff happens.
That's true. It was dark.
Are her jumps messed up? Is she able to put her jumps back together?
Yeah, she's making the dog jump over a bench.
Oh, so they're stepping up.
And the dog does not want to be doing it.
The dog's just like, dude, throw the ball.
She's like...
Or is the ball used to make the jumps happen?
Nope. It's a leash and a...
Get over this thing.
And she's like, you got to show her how it's done, Dad. Oh, my God.
That's adorable.
So
that's pretty much everything that's been happening in my world. What's going on with you, buddy?
Oh, dude, I feel like shit.
Well, for what it's worth, you look great.
Thanks, buddy. Fairly certain I almost took my shirt off on stage yesterday.
Really? If you were at the show yesterday, please let us know what you thought of that experience.
I tell you what.
What could have happened to cause you to almost take your shirt off?
I don't know. At this point, I'm unsure.
The last 24 hours are a blur to you.
Last 24 hours were jam-packed.
Had a lot going on. Great shows. I think.
2 hot shows. So that was nice. But yeah, dude, it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what's been going on the past couple weeks. Or the past week, I don't really know.
Well,
I fried my brain up, I think.
I'll carry the show. It's fine. So I says to the guy.
I quit.
Should we just go first topic?
Yeah, let's go for... Oh, what? We're supposed to do this.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is the tattoo?
What tattoo?
The tattoo we were talking about last week?
Ugh.
Your tattoo.
The one that I have?
No, the one that was covered up.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
I have been talking to several people about this.
Trying to figure out what it is?
They're the ones telling me they know what it is. And I will give everybody credit, even the ones who are historical liars and sneaks. And vagrants and vagabonds, nobody has said what that tattoo is that you got covered up.
Like they're keeping it a secret?
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
Yeah, they're like, it's funny because I know what it is. And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, it's not great.
That sounds like the words of somebody that remembered what it was at one time but can't quite think of it.
One of them did say that.
So, you remember the Duck Commander boys? Duck Dynasty?
Yep.
So
shut the fuck up.
Willie Robertson started a company called Buck Commander.
Oh my god, dude.
Now, bear with me here.
Uh-huh.
The people that were in this company or on this team were a bunch of former MLB players.
Yeah.
Chipper Jones being one of them.
Sure.
My all-time favorite MLB player. Adam LaRoche.
Uh-huh.
Matt Duffy.
Yeah.
Just some great baseball players. And I was like, it's baseball, it's bow hunting, it's everything I like. So I went and got the Buck Commander logo at 18 years old, tattooed right here.
You adult.
Dog. The best part of this story, though, is the currency I used to acquire the said tattoo.
A blowjob?
No. I'd be more proud of that. At the time, I was working for a restoration company, and the guy that I worked with was fully tatted up, full sleeves, and he was like, "You should go see my guy. He'll hook you up with a good tattoo if you want something." I was like, I've been thinking about getting something. And the job that we were on, we were taking apart a free weight exercise machine. Mm-hmm. He was like, "You bring that to him, he'll hook you up." I was like, "Sounds good." So I loaded it into the back of my truck. He gave me the address. He was like, "I'll meet you there." So I drove to this guy's tattoo studio, which was a double wide trailer in the middle of the woods.
Yikes.
Walked in. They were both drinking Busch Light. He was like, "You want one before we get started?" I was like, "I want 6 before we get started."
Do you want one before we get started?
So we're all drinking beers together, kind of telling stories. He's like, "Hold on, I got to get my mind right." Smoked a joint. I was like, "Hey, this guy knows what he's doing." Who am I to tell the artist how to do his job?
Right.
So then we walked through this hallway back towards his studio. There was a bathroom on the left. And I just happened to look in the door, and the bathtub was full of some type of equipment. I don't know what it was.
Bathtub?
Yeah. Just a bunch of shit just thrown in there.
Okay.
He was like, "That's our spare bathroom." I was like, "Neat."
Okay. Can we pause real quick?
Sure.
Let me get this straight. You saw a guy with tattoos. I'm just going to lay this out very plain.
Yeah.
You saw a guy with tattoos.
Yep.
And you're like, "Hey, I want one also."
Yep.
But I'm broke.
Yep.
And he goes, "Don't worry." The guy, gosh, dude.
I'm confused.
I'm fucking dying over here.
I don't know what's...
That almost ended poorly.
Just don't go in the bucket.
Okay.
Guy had tattoos.
Guy had tattoos.
I wanted tattoo.
Yes. You're poor.
I'm
You're like,
poor.
"Hey, look, I'm poor, but
Very.
I want to get tatted up."
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Don't worry. If you give some gym equipment to the guy, he's good to go."
Yep.
And then you showed up to a trailer, and you all got drunk. And
I think
he
they were
got
already there.
high.
Yeah.
And then he showed you the equipment in a bathtub. So
He
we're
didn't-
at a bathtub now.
It wasn't like on display. And it was not like he was like, "Check that out."
No, you're right. It wasn't on display. It was in a bathtub.
Yeah. We were just walking by, and I nosily looked in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
It was... I shouldn't have done that.
I'm going to be honest with you, buddy. There's a lot of things in this story that you shouldn't have done.
Yeah. I'm aware.
At any point where you, up to the bathtub, where you like, maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah. The whole time.
And so why are you still there, if I might ask?
The thought did go through my head at one point. This is how memorable stories are made.
Okay. That's crazy. All right. You're like, "Look, I'm either going to get a great story or hepatitis here."
At the end of the day, I looked at the other guy's work, and I was like, the guy does good work, which he does.
Okay. All right. So you're at the bathtub.
His arms
Sorry.
aren't swollen. He doesn't have sores.
Well,
I think
no,
we'll be
because
all right.
his arms aren't swollen because he turned in his gym equipment for tattoos. He can't get swole, dude. All right. So you see the equipment in a bathtub.
Yep. And then we walked into the room, which was his studio.
Sure.
And I'll give him this. It was a very clean space. It was not like the rest of the double wide trailer. Mm-hmm. He took care of it.
Okay.
And then he was like, "So what are you looking to get?" And I had a hat on that had the logo. I was like, "I want this."
Shut the fuck up, dude.
So he took my hat and literally like scanned it and then put it on a piece of paper and blew it up a little bit and then put it on my arm.
What? And then no infections, no nothing.
No, it's perfectly fine. I bled out like crazy because I've been drinking the whole time.
Yep.
But
so it was pretty faint after a while. Were you bleeding the ink out?
No. Just from
being bloody.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the ink was in pretty good. It looked fine. It was just after a couple years, I was like, I'd like to cover this up.
And you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With an even worse tattoo, but we don't have to talk about that now.
What's that one?
It's a.
Let's see it, dog.
No, I'm not taking my shirt off on this podcast.
Oh, it's on your back.
It's on my back down my arm. It comes up like here.
Okay.
But you can see how this just doesn't look good.
Sure.
I'll show this, but I'm not giving
feathers.
Yeah.
Are they feathers?
So it's an angel back here, and then the wing comes down my arm.
Oh, cool.
But you can, if we get into it, I'll show you after the show. You can still see remnants of the original tattoo.
Of the Buck Commander.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks for talking about that, buddy.
No problem. Thanks for laughing at it.
You're so mad at me right now.
Not at all. I'm not embarrassed by that story.
Not at all. Not at all. It's never coming back over. Hell yeah. All right. Glad we cleared that up.
I think the folks you had talked to might have heard that story before, and maybe they knew that's what was coming. Because the tattoo itself wasn't that embarrassing. Maybe it was. That's why I covered it up.
I'm going to be honest, it was several family members reached out to me directly.
Well, some of them didn't know the full story.
Now they do.
Until just now.
Oops. You don't want to talk about that one? That was our leftover one.
I thought that was it.
No.
Oh.
No, that was...
Did you read that one?
Yes.
All right, let's have it.
This was the big topic. This was therapy.
Ah, therapy.
I thought that was your way of quitting. You're like, you know what? Shut it down, short up.
I would have flipped the whole bucket.
Fuck it.
If that ever happens, if I ever disrespect the bucket, you know it's over. You have any thoughts before I get into it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously a big proponent for therapy. I think people need therapy. I think if you can get therapy, you should get therapy. I think the system sucks. Answer. No.
It was my alarm.
It was your therapist. Yeah, I think you should get therapy. I think everybody needs therapy. I think it's very expensive, and I think it's inaccessible to a lot of people who really need it. But it rocks. I need some serious therapy, dude.
Especially after last night.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think everybody could benefit from some level of therapy for sure. I think there's a stigma around therapy. There has been for a long time. I think it's kind of going away now. I think it's kind of normalized, which is great. I also agree that it's inaccessible for a lot of people, and it should be made more accessible because times are hard in general.
Times are hard.
And sometimes you just need somebody to talk to, and some people don't have friends that they can rely on and lean on through tough times. So if you've been thinking about it, do it. It's worth it. Now, I've heard people in the past say things like, I'm never associating with somebody that's not in therapy again.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's crazy. At that point, I think you need to look within. Maybe you need therapy. Also, I think people rely on it a lot, like they do with zodiac signs and stuff like that. And it's just like, at a certain point, they stop making decisions for themselves, and they just go based on what their therapist says.
Uh-huh.
And that's
not what therapy's for.
You're not using it right. Your therapist is just there to listen to what you got going on and lend advice and not coach you through your entire life.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's I'll pull it back the curtain a little bit. My degree is in psychology, so I
Yeah.
am a little bit biased.
Yeah.
But what the hell is happening on my watch? But yeah, it's definitely something that everybody needs. It can be a crutch, and I think there's a lot of bad therapists out there too. I think
that's a good point too.
But everybody's got somebody they can work with. I also think people go to therapy sometimes to avoid taking accountability, because I think you can really fall into a trap where you're told, like, hey, this comes from this, or in your life, and that's probably at the root of why you do these things. And they're like, yep, see, it's not my fault.
Yeah, you tell one story of one childhood trauma, and they're like, oh, okay, I can see how that could relate to certain behaviors and things like that. And it's like, well,
it was my dad's fault
because this happened when I was a kid. I'm an asshole now,
and I'm allowed to be because I had some trauma.
So yeah, and if you have tried therapy before and you didn't get along with your therapist and you feel like you didn't get anything out of it, and you're like, well, I'll never do it again. Do it again. Pick somebody else. Try again. Because I went to therapy when I was a kid because we were going through some shit, and it took a few times for it to take, because the first couple that I met with, I couldn't click with, and I wasn't comfortable opening up, and I wasn't comfortable talking about anything. And then it was like magic when I went to this one therapist, and it was just, I was willing to talk about everything, and I got a lot out of it, and it helped a ton.
Hell yeah.
So try it. If you didn't love it, try it again.
Yeah. Go to therapy, folks.
The people that say, I don't need therapy, definitely need therapy.
And the ones who say, I need therapy, really need it. Jello versus pudding.
I feel like we did this before.
Fuck.
Maybe it's a hot topic and it just got dropped in there twice.
Jello versus pudding. This is interesting. The printing press.
Where do you start?
I mean, we could go all day on the printing press.
You know what's funny is, like, when the printing press first came out, it was just little individual blocks, each letter that they would set. So by the time the article was written, that was old news.
It's old news.
Then you print 100 copies, because that's the only amount of people that lived in the town. That probably took 6 days.
Well, and they'd have to print a page at a time, the same page 100 times.
Yeah. Tough.
They couldn't collate. You know what I mean?
But think about where
Actually,
we'd be.
I don't even know what collate means.
Where would we be today without it? You know?
Yeah, that's true. We'd have to handwrite stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Were newspapers just handwritten before that?
Yeah.
That poor bastard.
No, you know what they would do is they would go like town to town and read.
That's
in
right.
front of groups of people.
Yeah. So just one copy had
the news boy would go around and they would read out loud to a group.
Yeah.
Whatever was in the news, and they go to the next town, read the same thing.
Here's what's happening in Washington. That was an orgy.
Yeah, but it was just like Lower Washington that they were in.
I saw a bird.
Diddy arrived on the trial today. Meek Mill still nowhere to be found.
The news takes so long. They're like, Diddy's trial started today. They're like, who's Diddy? It's Puff. Oh! Heard some things about that guy.
All right, printing press. That's nice.
That was fun.
Have a great day.
I'm getting down deep.
I'm sorry. I am dragging.
You're fine, man. Look, we all have our ups and our downs. Just don't vomit on the show.
The ratings we would get.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
See one of the Plowboys.
Achy Breaky Heart. And probably before Theo Von, the most famous mullet of all time.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
He was a heartthrob back then.
Was he?
Yeah. I remember
Zach's like, dude, I was jerking off to him, dude.
the side yards of the trailer park were always damp.
Oh, my God.
I do remember that. Anytime that song came on, just the ladies would come out in their moo-moos and dance in the streets.
Golly.
He's falling apart. Didn't he play recently at like one of Trump's things?
Did he?
And he was like hammered on stage and couldn't get through a song or something like that.
Well, all three of his kids are psychos.
Are there three of them?
There's three. Tell me how I know all this. There's Miley Cyrus.
She's cleaned it up lately.
Yeah, she's doing better.
Yeah.
She's doing better. There's Noah Cyrus.
What a cool last name to have.
That's her sister. And then there's a boy.
There's a boy.
Mm-hmm. And he's in a band.
William Ray Cyrus?
No, it's something like Danny or some shit like that.
This is Carl.
Carl Cyrus. No, but he's in a band. I think the band is 303. It's just like this, like.
I love 303.
Oh, yeah?
That's Billy Ray Cyrus' kid?
I think so, yeah.
You're lying.
I'm not.
3.
I think it's 303.
OH. 3 exclamation point.
No, the exclamation point's after the H.
Oh, you're right. No wonder this didn't come up right.
No, it didn't.
Interesting. I had no idea that was his kid.
I think it's either that or it's yeah, I think it's 303.
Miley Cyrus.
I don't even want to hear it.
Miley Cyrus had a tough run there for a while.
Miley Cyrus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the case with anybody that's famous as a teenager. You know, I think they all go through it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what they need.
My sisters loved Hannah Montana, dude.
Oh, really?
Loved Hannah Montana.
Wasn't that the whole premise of that show, that she was like two different people?
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
That she was Hannah Montana. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Miley Cyrus in real life.
Yeah, and Billy Ray Cyrus was on the show. And her two siblings, not on the show.
Of course not. Why would they be?
Yeah. I think her real mom makes an appearance, though, a couple times.
That's crazy.
So the other two are just losers.
But yeah, anytime you got a kid that's gone through fame, it seems like they always have a tough go of it at some point.
Yeah, they need therapy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start. That's what I'm going to do. I burned so much energy at the start of the show.
Hold on before you go. Oh! My angle was perfect.
Suck. I don't know what the fuck this means, but it says Mr. Piss.
What?
Not doing it.
It sounds like some 80s prog rock band.
Mr. Piss. Yeah. Oh, yeah, kind of. Like they do a little bit of Mr. Piss.
There's a hit, son.
New band out of Virginia, Mr. Piss.
How does their song go? Oh, every city I gotta do this. Mr. Piss.
Mr. Piss.
You had to be there.
Extra, extra. Newsboy kills himself. No. On the lives, I'm sorry.
We'll bleep it.
BBLs.
It's taken over.
Shout out.
Yeah. You know what I keep
Shout
hearing?
out BBLs.
Is that it's like it's men's expectation of women that's causing all these women to go get it. I don't know a single man that's into it.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Personally.
Uh-uh.
I'm not here saying that you guys are making poor decisions,
But
it's not us.
let's change the narrative. So Brazilian booty lift,
Uh-huh.
right? Let's change the narrative on this. What else could we call it? Big booty Latinas? That's the same thing.
Ass hack job.
No. Let's change what BBL means.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Bad life choices.
No! You're stuck on the booty.
So
Let's get this going.
hashtag bucket boy life.
Brown bag lunch.
Brown bag lunch.
Oh, yeah. You can get them kids. No, are you buying lunch today? No, I got that BBL on
I'm
me
just
today.
BBLing it today.
Mom gave me a BBL before school.
I say we that's our fan base, bucket boy lovers.
Bucket boy love. The
Just
BBLs.
a bunch of BBLs out there.
Hell yeah. That's what it is now.
Yeah. BBL. Anybody that's got a BBL means that they're a fan of the show.
Yeah, you're a BBL, dude.
BBL for life.
BBLs.
We're limping through today. It's a hot app.
This might be our best and worst episode we've ever.
Who knows? You guys decide.
And we used to do it on a dirty couch. You remember that? That was pretty
I
fun.
was just talking about that the other day.
Would you choose? Oh, this is important because I actually got into a verbal altercation about this yesterday.
I love it.
Would you choose the bear or the man? And I also want to piggyback on this.
Okay, go for it.
No, answer the fucking question. Would you choose the bear or the man?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I choose the man
This whole thing is dumb as shit.
because a bear would maul me to death.
Yeah. The man is the least of your concerns.
Yeah.
Unless the bear is a man. Oh, what if it's the bear?
The TV show?
Yeah.
The Chicago Cook?
Yeah. I'd choose that one, actually.
He seems like a cool dude.
The bear is the man.
As long as I don't have to work for him.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. I'd rip a heater with him out back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to piggyback off of this with this whole 100 dudes versus a gorilla.
Uh-huh.
Yo, if you say that 100 dudes could beat a gorilla, go stand in front of a train. There is no fucking...
Train tracks aren't that far away.
There's no fucking way at all that 100 people could beat a gorilla. I feel like I'm gonna get into another argument.
I've tried.
Say whatever bullshit you're trying to say.
No. Here's the thing. Surprisingly, I'm going to agree with you.
Fuck.
I've
I've really been looking for an argument today.
I've tried to go through every scenario in my head. The most likely that I can come to is all 100 rush at one time and the smother effect.
Yeah.
Because as strong as it might be, it can't lift 100 men off of itself. Mm-hmm. And yet, as the 100 come in, 10 are done off the rip.
Yeah.
10 are
Right
done.
away.
And the best thing we can possibly do is grab those corpses and pile them on once we get them down. But even then,
Not a chance, dude. Listen.
I don't think any human being possesses, especially 100 at a time, the fortitude to just go for it.
To deal with it.
I think too many, every one of them is going to start running.
Dude,
and
one
then back
guy
off.
dies, 40 quit.
That's the other thing too. Have you ever watched a human being die in front of your face?
And let's imagine.
If so, you need therapy.
Check out therapy. No,
Today's sponsor, gettherapy.com.
Just go get it.
Yeah.
That felt so good.
It sounded like it felt good. Like all the demons just came out.
Yeah, a little bit, dude. I got to fart so bad, too. I might let it rip and me talking.
Comedy.
What was I saying? Oh.
100 men.
Even if you could get 100 people to just do it, there's no way. And I agree. A gorilla could not physically move 100 bodies at one time.
It's getting him down.
You're telling me a gorilla start pinching you?
Just one pinch?
One pinch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you're fucking out.
Yeah. I pinched my arm in a vice grip one time by accident.
Ow.
I imagine it's similar to that.
Yeah. It can't be done. And that the reason I wanted to piggyback off of that, because that's the ladies, the man or bear.
Yeah.
That's, all them ladies was like, I'd rather have the bear because men will,
Damage my mind, not my body. Well, both. Anyway, we won't get into that.
They're looking for, Bill Cosby went to jail.
Rightfully so. That's one thing we can all agree on.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Diddy going to jail.
For sure. Have you heard the latest on that case, by the way? We won't get into that.
No.
But yeah, 100 men versus a gorilla. I can't see a scenario.
This is the dude's version.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, yeah, for sure, 100 people can beat a gorilla. And it's like, I just saw a video of a gorilla got a hold of a full-grown capybara. And it's like, a capybara is like 80, 90 pounds.
Yeah, they're not small.
And threw that motherfucker out of its enclosure. Like 40 yards.
Yeah.
Up and out. And it hit a kid at the zoo.
Imagine that kid's story. I'd tell that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. It's like, whoa. You see that video and you're like, nah. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Not even a chance. The way it just it was smashing it into the ground and then was done and threw it.
I'm done with this.
Easy.
Yeah.
That was crazy to watch, dude. And you're like, all right, I'm 2 capybaras. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would have still been throwing 40
20 yards.
Yeah, 20 yards, dude,
Yeah.
is so far.
So far. Yeah. I do love, like, when this topic first came up, the follow-up questions that people would ask. What was the first one you always heard? Do the humans get weapons?
No, that's if you
one
have
man
to ask
versus one gorilla.
Yeah, if you have to ask if you get weapons, then you know the answer is no.
Exactly. And then the next question is like, what's the environment?
Is the gorilla already dead?
Is the gorilla full grown?
Yeah. Is it a newborn gorilla?
Was it born yesterday? Yeah. And that's the thing. What environment would it have to be? How can we stack the odds in the human's favor without giving them weapons? In what environment? That's why I'm asking. Like, in what environment does it benefit the humans? Just a racquetball court?
Yeah, right. You got to wear the goggles.
Yeah. I can't find a scenario.
No, it can't be done.
Yeah.
If you think it can be done, you're not thinking about this.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna say it. You're dumb as shit.
Because think about how long, like I said, with the suffocation method, where you just pile on. Think about how long it would take to coordinate 100 men creating a pile without a gorilla in the middle of it.
Well, and some of those men are getting killed by the sheer weight of other men on top of them.
For sure. Yeah, so you'd have maybe 20 that would come out alive in that situation. So even then, if we're going by sheer ratio,
right,
the gorilla handled a good portion of that.
Yeah, it's just so stupid. I mean, don't even.
Do the humans get a helicopter?
Can we drop an atomic bomb on the gorilla? I think then it would work.
Yeah, that was a good one. Hot app.
But any primate really, any primate is gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Any primate's gonna fuck you up.
For sure.
We are not the strongest primates.
No.
Not by a long shot.
No.
Let's name them. I don't know.
Orangutan.
They'll kill yo ass.
You'll get skinned in a second. They'll
Oh.
just pull you apart.
Their arms are so long.
And they're so strong.
They're so strong. And that like one of those like capuchin monkeys
Oh, yeah.
will rip your face off.
Yeah.
Do you see the size of their teeth?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I saw a video the other day. It was like a compilation of silverback gorillas in zoos and in captivity. And there was one where he was just like shouldering the door. And it was like, hey, tell him we were kidding. Tell him we weren't serious. Because it looked like he was going to break it down.
Dude, have you seen the videos of like the gorilla like punching the glass at a zoo and it
Just cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that
I don't want
shit's
anything to do with it, man.
4 inches thick. If I punched the glass, I would shatter my hand.
Yeah.
You can't win.
This is why I don't go to zoos.
Oh, I go to zoos hoping it happens.
See, because like babies, human babies, see me for the first time, and for some reason they always cry. I think it has something to do with the beard and like my size,
Or general, demeanor.
my demeanor. It's your face, but like
It's you as a human being. It's making them upset.
yeah. No, I fully understand that. By the way, but here's the thing: that baby that's crying doesn't have the ability to rip my face off.
That's right.
So if the gorilla has the same reaction, it might punch that glass just a little harder and reach through and grab me by the beard scruff and just yank me into the cage.
Yeah,
I can't have that.
Yeah, dude.
I don't want that to be my legacy.
It would be a cool story, though.
I read this as farts.
God, I've got a
Dyslexia. Frats.
frats, not farts.
Frats.
Are you telling me it says frats or farts?
It says frats.
Okay.
I feel like your outlook on frats has changed
I like
in the last
I
year.
do like them. I wish I was in one. Yeah, they're fun.
I think that's the thing. Any man that is like, frats are nerds,
Ain't never been in
is
one.
just upset that they were never invited.
I like they're fun. Can I tell you this? They will come out and support each other to nobody's business. They're boys.
Yeah, I think there's a sense of community
They're
there.
damn boys.
There's definitely a sense of community that a lot of us just can't wrap our minds around.
It's a bunch of bros, but they're
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah. Are there problematic fraternities out there? For sure.
Yeah.
But that's the same with anything.
Yeah. And I don't know what pledging is. I don't know what rushing is. I don't know what.
I do think there's
Alpha, Kappa,
Yeah.
Omega. I don't really know. I don't know any of that Greek shit.
I think
It's
there's
all Greek to me.
I do think there's a weird culture revolving around fraternities and college in general, universities, I should say, where there's like this expectation to give back, whether it's your fraternity or your university. We had a friend that went to WVU, and for years after she graduated, she worked in an office, like calling people and asking for donations. Like, you know how much it costs to go there.
Yeah.
I'm still paying this place,
Yeah.
and I haven't gotten a job associated with what I learned there,
Right.
and you're asking for more money. But people pay into it like crazy. And it's this sense of pride and like, I do crack up a little
I
bit.
will say donors get to do a lot of real cool shit.
Oh, really? So there's benefits to
there's
it?
benefits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that then. But
But
still.
it ain't going towards your tuition bill.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Let it be a program where if people want those benefits, they pay into it and they donate.
Like insurance.
Yeah, but don't go asking people for it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm still, at least if you're going to have a list of people to call asking for donations,
Ask the ones who paid off already.
have their what's left on their student loans right next to it and be like, maybe I shouldn't call this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Their current profession.
Their annual income.
He came here and got a political science degree. And he's currently working
Like an idiot.
sales at Best Buy. He's still $200,000 in debt. Let me go ahead and ring him up and see if he's wanting to send 30.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I like frats. I think they're fun. I will say it is weird though that like you get the like I've met a bunch of frats and they're like you'd be talking to the guys and they'd be like, "Oh, I graduated 6 years ago." And you're like, "What the fuck are you doing here then?" That is weird.
Yeah.
But
What are you, Van Wilder?
Yeah, but it's just like it is weird, but
Like you work primarily in a college town doing stand up, and a good portion of your audience is frats. Mm-hmm. And I've been to a couple of those shows, and those boys are rowdy. And
they're rowdy, and they like to have a good time.
They're there for a good time.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
I need y'all to be here to have fun.
Yep. And it is cool when they start like ragging on each other when you're interacting with them.
They're the easiest ones to make fun of.
Yeah. Damn. What are we looking like? Not good.
We're looking like Nikola Jokic should have won the fucking MVP award because he's the most valuable player in the NBA.
I will say
that's what we're looking like.
One of my favorite.
I'm a little pissed off about this.
One of my favorite press conference moments was, I guess it was, I didn't watch the game, but when he threw up the three for the buzzer beater, and what was the other player's name that slammed it? It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But he threw up a three
who did it.
last second, and then airballed, but it looked like a sick alley-oop. Guy slammed it down. It was like a buzzer beater slam dunk. In the press conference afterwards, they were like, they're calling this the first ever buzzer beater slam dunk. And he was like, yeah, it was a good pass. And Jokic just kind of started laughing a little bit. And they're like, so Joker, was it a pass? No. It was so funny.
It's a pass before it hits the rim, I'll tell you that.
That was cool to see, though. Where are we at? I was done with that topic?
Yeah.
Oh, I just pulled. You grab one.
We got time for one more?
Yeah, we got time for one more.
All right.
I think we ran for like 10 minutes before we actually started.
I don't know what's happening. Who cares?
Is it a long one?
No, I'm debating on whether or not we should do this one.
Good Lord.
The handwriting's so bad.
This is the worst handwriting I've ever seen. It's hieroglyphics. We've already done it. Pull another one.
14th Amendment situation.
Yeah, if you guys were wondering, look up the
Suffrage.
14th Amendment.
This,
Is it blank?
yeah. Tesla. I saw all black, matte black, murdered out Tesla Cybertruck yesterday. Still ugly. I still don't like it.
There's one on my drive home from work. There's a neighborhood that I pass, and I've seen this dude like 4 times pulling into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
He's got a Cybertruck, and he wrapped it in this like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like orange when you look at it in one direction, and then blue and green in the other direction. But it's like chrome.
Yeah, pearlescent.
And it is the hardest thing to look at. It's so bad. And the wrap wasn't done well.
That's the word. That'll.
Yeah. That's a rough that's a rough thing to look at.
That'll break up a marriage right there. That's tough, dude.
And it's one of those neighborhoods where it's like off a main road, but like he's the first house.
So you always see it.
So he pulls into the driveway, and then outside, like on the street, he's got some type of BMW that has this bright orange wrap on
He
it.
just like that shit.
And it's just like, dude, everybody's got to drive by your house and see this stuff. You're a full-grown adult. You got Hot Wheels out in your driveway. That's probably how people look at my car, too. I get it.
100%, dude.
That's fine. Speaking of, so I mentioned my wrap on my car that's coming off.
It's coming off, yes.
You know how the yellow stripes on my wrap are reflective?
Yes.
Last night I was driving home from work, and I even looked at the time because there was 3 kids riding around on those scooters, and it was like 10:45. I was like, you kids need to go inside.
Right.
It is so late. But screw it. They were having a good time. I was doing the same thing. But one of them had a headlight, and it was pretty bright. But, like, the sidewalk is a pretty decent distance away from the street. And when I drove by, I think they realized that my wrap, the yellow, was reflective. And I watched the kid. It was just, you could tell it was just like, oh, I want to see that. And he just turned his wheel and just ate it. I laughed until I pulled into my garage.
Oh,
that
man.
was so funny.
Dude, watching people fall is the best.
It's the best, especially when they're young, because you know they're just going to bounce right back anyway. There's no pain involved.
No, I like watching everybody fall down.
The long, slow fall when somebody loses their balance and they're trying to catch it. Oh, I could watch it for days. Seeing somebody fall in public is a great time.
Oh my God, watching somebody. I was watching a video that it was so long. It was so long. It was one of those those metro station escalators that they're super tall.
Is this the old lady?
I don't know how old she was, but she was walking up the one that was going down.
Oh.
And the caption was just like, hey, you don't go against her on the Stairmaster or whatever, which is funny. But she gets to the top, and then as she's getting to the top, another guy's like, I'm going to try it, and runs up. Well, so then you start watching that guy, but I was like, I think something's still going on with this lady. And she gets to the top and falls down. Oh. I mean, eats it, her foot gets caught or something, and it's like, that was worth 7 minutes.
No, I saw one where a lady was getting onto the escalator that was going up, using it the right way, and she just lost her footing, getting on, and she was trying to, get it back together, and she'd gotten up maybe 10, 15 feet up the escalator, and she went down, and it was just over and over. She'd get to the bottom, and she'd be flat on her back and just start going up, and then she'd just be head over heels again. But she had to be 70 something.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I felt so bad laughing as hard as I did.
You shouldn't feel bad. It's funny shit. People falling down's great.
Yeah. I think that's one thing universally. Everyone is going to snicker at least.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, dude, you fall down, you're cooked.
Let me ask you this. Are you the person, when you see somebody fall in public, where you're going to rush to help pick them up?
No.
Me neither. You think you know how you're going to react in situations?
I know how I'm going to react there.
I know for a fact I'm not the man I thought I was. When myself and a friend of the podcast, Steven Stark, were in D.C., I think we were going to a Caps game, and we got onto the metro, and it's getting ready to leave. We hear the doors closing, and then all of a sudden we hear somebody behind us scream, "Stop!" And we look back, and somebody had their arm. They were on the platform, but their arm was inside of the metro, inside of the car.
Oh, shit.
The doors had closed on their arm. And it seemed like we were getting ready to take off. And I looked back to our friend group, and I was like, oh, no. Steven wasn't there anymore. And I looked back again. He's already up with 3 other dudes trying to pull the doors open for this person to get their arm out. And I was like, Oh, I'm not that guy at all. Turns out I don't know how to react in these situations.
I would have watched it. It's not that I'm not a helpful person. It's just like I can't.
I want to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved.
Are they going to make it to the next stop?
Am I going to see an arm?
Just an arm?
Yeah. Am I going to get to just see an arm? That'd be cool. Oh, my God. All right. We got to close this up.
Hot ep.
Hot up.
I'm getting a phone call after that one.
Dude, this one. Oh, yeah, you are. Hell yeah. If you guys want to submit some hot topics, email them to the bucketboyspod@gmail.com. Some clips are definitely coming out for this one on TikTok and Instagram at the Bucket Boys Podcast, and full video available if you're listening to this on Apple Podcast. Nice.
That's a way to end it.
Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Please rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps push us through. Appreciate all the feedback you've given so far. Dates. I got some stand-up dates coming.
Let's hear it.
This comes out on the 28th. So today's the 28th, right? Yes.
Correct.
Today is the 28th. So this Friday.
What?
Dude, stop doing whatever you're doing, dude.
Sorry.
God damn.
I'm a child.
I'm trying to do fucking dates here.
I know. I'm sorry. This is your career we're talking about.
God, Jesus Christ. Anyways, this Friday, come out May 30th, the Live Arts Waterworks Festival.
Ooh, I'll be there.
10 p.m. Tickets on livearts.com. Then the next night, the 31st, have Comedy Lab at WTJU in Charlottesville. These are all Charlottesville local dates. But come on out. Drive. Who cares?
It's not that far.
It's really not that far.
Make a day of it. There's plenty to do out there.
Comedy Lab at WTJU. The stage. Yep. Then June 14th and June 20th, Don't Tell Comedy's back. So check it out.
Don't Tell Charlottesville is hot right now.
It's hot.
It's a good time.
We're all over the place. For all my tickets and dates, find me at Gunnar Cain Comedy on Instagram. I am struggling.
It's okay.
God damn it.
You're getting through it.
At Gunnar Cain Comedy on Instagram and everywhere else. Check me out. Links, hit them. Buy tickies. Come see me. Have a good time. Zach, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Zach_shoots_. I forgot my Instagram handle.
That's crazy. All right. Love you guys. Zach, we got to get out of here, buddy.
We got to go. No cigarettes today.
Peace.
It's been a rough one.